Thank you. Firstly, I'm Richard Jackson. I'm the Director of Sustainability for UCL, and I'm here to really kind of introduce these awards today and take us through the awards. I'd like to thank everybody for coming along today. It's so good to see such a large turnout in person, but I also like to welcome and thank those people who are joining us online as well. So we're doing this as a hybrid meeting. It's really kind of my huge honour and privilege to lead this team, but also to lead our work at UCL around sustainability. And today's event is really a sort of celebration of all the things that you do in contributing to our work and our drive to be a more sustainable university. There's a bit of housekeeping before I start, so I have to say this. From fire safety, if we hear a fire alarm during this event, then if you can make your way through the fire exits onto the Wilkins Terrace. Hopefully we won't get a fire alarm, and I'll keep my fingers crossed on that. In terms of the structure of the event, we're going to hear from three people. I apologise that I'm the first of those. But then actually we're going to hear from two great individuals. Leanne Case, who's one of our alumni, has come back to talk to us about her career, what she's been doing in sustainability. And then we're going to hand over to the Provost and hear from the Provost around the university and the direction the university is taking. After that, we get into celebrating your work and what you've been doing over the past year to contribute to some of our ambitious targets. So we're going to start with giving out the awards for Green Impact and LEAF and thanking those teams. Then we've got some special awards for some outstanding sustainability plans. And then we've got 5 special awards to reflect the contributions that individuals make, whether that's through the research they undertake, through the work they're doing with their departments, and some of the high impact work that helps us to become a much more sustainable university. Let me start by sort of my presentation by, I suppose in some ways, reflecting kind of where we are as an institution. This is our 10th Sustainability Awards. 10 years ago when we started doing this, we had, I think, 10 teams who took part in Green Impact. We had the first awards down in the old refectory, for anybody who can remember that. It was a very quick occasion. I think we got all the teams up to receive their awards within 20 minutes. And unfortunately, the winners, by the time the winners stepped up, most people had disappeared. So there was about 4 of us who were clapping the winners, which is not the way actually you want to run an award ceremony, as I learnt at the time. But I think over those 10 years, what I think we've learned as an institution is the power of delivering sustainability, the power of trying to reduce our environmental impact is through engaging with our community. And it's been through the development of Green Impact and through the development of LEAF that we've been able to catalyse the kind of change that we deliver as an organisation. Over the 10 years, we've seen a huge reduction in our impact, reduced our carbon emissions by 28%. We're putting more solar panels on roofs. When I first started, the estates team was celebrating achieving a BREEAM Very Good on the new Union building. Well, having come from the Olympic Park and delivered some amazing venues, I just felt that really lacks ambition and we need to push ourselves more. So we set ourselves a goal to try and achieve BREEAM Outstanding on buildings. We've got 2 BREEAM Outstanding on buildings and we're trying to drive that further. The ambition here has always been here, but it's about kind of trying to push that more with our community and with our teams. Of course, engagement has been important through this. So we've been working with the Students' Union to make sure our students can be more engaged. We'll hear more about the union a bit later on. But also it's been about engagement through programmes like Green Impact and LEAF. And what really pleases me is year on year we've had more teams taking part in these 2 programmes. I think this year we've got around about 130 teams who've either done Green Impact or LEAF. So we're just kind of growing more and more. More people are really interested in taking action in their areas, and that's really important to us. The other thing that's been really important to me is about showing leadership internally, but also to the sector. And I think when you look across this room and see how many people are taking part in our programs. And then when I go and talk to my counterparts in university, it makes me really proud to be able to think that, we're really driving change, both ourselves but also with other organisations. Two things that actually really do kind of give me a sort of sense of pride that we've done over the past 10 years. When I first arrived, we really struggling to work out how do we bring sustainability into some of our minor projects that we undertake. And we undertake about sort of 70, 80 minor projects across the estate every year. And so we worked with the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors to develop something called SCAR. It doesn't stand for anything, but SCAR is basically a methodology by which we can bring some sustainability measures into those small projects. UCL led that. UCL did the work to put that methodology in place. That's now widely used across the sector. That's about us being a catalyst for change. The second thing, and many of you taking part in this, is LEAF, the Lab Efficiency Assessment Framework. We identified and worked with Martin to develop the LEAF programme. The opportunity with LEAF was not just about improving our lab environments, but recognising that a lot of the universities have lab environments that we want to try and influence. So of course, we've got a lot of teams who are using LEAF now and creating change within their labs, but we also have a lot of other institutions who are using it. We've got 60 institutions, actually I think it's about 80 institutions, 72 institutions, and actually what we're also finding now is the private sector are really interested in using this. So this is about us being a catalyst to wider change. This is not just us resting on our laurels, but actually trying to drive change, because this is what sustainability is about. This climate change is not going to be influenced by UCL just reducing itself and being net zero. Climate change is about everybody taking that action. And so what we've got to do is use the power of our research, the power of our community to try and drive change. And that's why I think it's important that we celebrate the change that you've brought about today. Of course, as we look forward to the next 10 years, I hope that we'll work more, have more teams engage with us. We've only got 65% of our labs who are using LEAF. I want 100% of the labs. I want more teams involved in green impact. But I think also we're seeing changes to the way the university is operating, which will help us to try and drive some of these goals that we've set ourselves around climate change, around reducing our waste, and that's not just the physical waste, but the waste in the energy that we use, and becoming that sustainability university that we want to become, and becoming the leader within the sector. Before I hand over to our first proper speaker, I want to just say a little bit about the awards today. So in terms of the structure of the awards, we're going to kind of read out a number of teams who we want to step forward and receive a commendation from us for your efforts. Now, I think when Chiara steps up, she's going to sort of give you the details of how we want you to move forward, move down the rooms. It's really quite important so we can kind of keep this moving and try and keep the awards on time and on schedule. But the two awards we've got, so for those people who've undertaken LEAF and Green Impact, we're going to give you a certificate. It's a piece of paper. It's not just a piece of paper. So we think long and hard about the awards because we don't want to just give you something which you toss away into the bin. We've worked with a separate organisation to provide seeded paper. So the paper actually you can put on the ground, put some water on it, and we start to see some wildflowers growing through that. Take it home, use it at home. It's fantastic. I've used it as well. It's brilliant. The second thing we wanted to do was not just give our major award winners, the individuals. We wanted to, I suppose in some ways, taking something home and just putting it on the shelf feels like quite an unsustainable thing to do. So we've also invested in some trees in the UCL Grove. That's to reflect all the individuals who've taken part in our Green Impact and LEAF programs this year. And that's saving 18,900 kilograms of CO2. So that's our thanks to you for all the work that you've been doing for us.